Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a very, very special episode of In the AM with PM. Y'all, we have such amazing guests right here with us today, and they're talking all about music. So you know what? I'm gonna let them just kick it off and introduce themselves really fast.
I'm Gertrude. I am a senior here at the Thornton Music School. I'm a music industry major. I rap, sing, play guitar, and produce music as well.
Come on.
Hello, I'm Joshua. I'm a junior here at USC. I'm in the Thornton School of Music. I'm an R&B and soul singer. That's what I do.
3. Okay. What's up, everyone? ZZ, junior in film school. Oh shit, camera switch. Okay, that was trippy. Junior in film school, and I make pop rap, R&B, and produce. And I just want to shout out Pilar. It's a fucking full house over here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
gosh.
All these people here to see us.
Yeah, we wanted this to be an amazing episode, very like casual, because you know, music is all about the collaboration. There's so much that goes into it. There are a lot of people involved. So it's like, you know what? We might as well show off a bunch at once. So just to get started, I have to know, when did y'all know that you wanted to be musicians?
Just to start off, it's a loaded question. But
Come on, there was a beginning, right? There was a moment. What was that moment?
I guess since I've been like a little baby, I've just been like, my parents have just like brought me up with music on music, you know what I mean? So, and my mom used to be a singer, right, in India.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I don't know if that does anything to genes and stuff, but like,
You know, it's all in the genetic code. You were born for this,
maybe.
basically.
Sure, yeah, fuck yeah, I should say that, Lady Gaga, right?
Come on, born this way, yeah.
But just growing up with music around me, but then finally doing something with music was when I was like 15, 16.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
I tell this story all the time. My mother, when she was applying me for preschool, she wrote on my application, "He loves to sing." Yeah. I had to have been like 2 at that time. So I mean, music has always just been a part of my life. It's something I love to do, and I feel it's like super important. But I'd say I started taking music really seriously like in high school, around like 15, 16.
Sick.
For me, like, I sang my whole life, and I just like was always involved in the arts. Like, I was a theater kid, and like I did theater throughout like middle school and high school, and towards the end of high school, I kind of had to like decide whether I wanted to go like a more musical theater route or if I wanted to go a more like straight music route. And then I ended up kind of wanting more creativity, so that led me to just doing music. And around that time, I was also around 15, 16 when I really started taking music seriously.
Okay, so it seems like everyone was doing them when they were young, honestly, fresh out the womb kind of thing. So I have to know, it seems like since you did grow up with music, what parts of your background and your culture do you kind of embed within your music?
For me personally, I mean, I grew up in church, and so I think when you hear me sing, you can always hear like that gospel influence, I would say. And I just think me being around black music often, I always try to make sure the black sound is heard. I think it's important. I think the black sound needs to be preserved, and it's not something to be neglected. So I think that's what you'll hear if you listen to me sing and hearing what I do.
It's so beautiful.
For me, I have a wide range of influences. Like, when someone asks like the "where are you from" question, it's so loaded because like I'm a daughter to 2 African immigrants and I was born here, and so because of that, it's always like weird because I have like that wide range of influences. And then I also have like influences from growing up like black in America as well. So like what that looks like for me is like I grew up in San Diego in like kind of like the all indie punk scene, so that actually led me to like play. That's actually what initially got me into playing guitar. I'd been singing my whole life, but like when I really started putting my music out there and like playing gigs and stuff, I was super interested in like that. And Southern California is just really great for like rock music, so I just was like playing in bands, gigging a lot. So like even though I make R&B, hip hop, rap now, like definitely like and especially my future music, you're kind of will hear that influence when I sample like guitars and stuff. And then as it relates to like, African American experience, obviously like I make hip hop and rap, which is like really great, but I have yet to kind of find the means to integrate like the African music side and potential Afro beats. Maybe in the future. I've made some cool stuff that may be coming soon, but like those are definitely like how my influences come together.
Keep an ear out for that, for sure.
100%.
For me, well, I'm from India, so I've been brought up there my entire life basically, but I mean, I don't have any like African American background per se. I mean, no, just I don't, right? But I make like pop rap, R&B, and it's more about like the admiration that I have for it, that makes me want to do it, because that's all I've listened to growing up. Like I when I was 4, I had a poster of 50 Cent and Eminem in my bedroom. Like when I was like, me and my brother used to wear these like fat plastic chains with the rotating like G-unit symbols. Like, just imagine 2 fat brown kids just like rocking the fucking, you know what I mean? So it's more about just like the admiration and just the love, and listening to Love Lockdown when I was 8 in my bedroom when I was 8 years old, just like oh my god, what the fuck is this incredible, like I just want to be a part of it. I want to take it to another level, do some crazy shit.
Yeah, it really spoke to you.
Yeah, it did. And obviously in Indian music, there's like in Bollywood music, there's so much of like a bounce, so that also plays a part. Like I've sampled a couple drums from a few old Bollywood songs from like the 60s and 70s, and they hit.
Okay.
And actually people be doing that over here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're all just a big...
Again, it's that big conglomerate of everyone just coming together.
Yeah.
And playing off of what you just said, so like who are some artists that you listen to for inspiration, or even like, movies or something like that?
Okay, wait. I have this written down. One sec. Okay.
About to pull up the notes app.
I have, because I love like just writing down my like people I love listening to,
Okay, what I mean? Perfect. Let's hear some of this.
Drake, of course. Future, oh my god, wow, just love him. A Tribe Called Quest.
Ooh,
fucking that got me through a lot of shit, not gonna lie. Right now, Tyler the Creator.
Oh my god, I love Tyler.
And the reason I love him specifically is because he literally has his hands on everything he does. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whether it's directing his own shit, whether it's producing his own shit, doing his own cover art, he is like everywhere.
Him.
Yeah. Yes. And then recently I've been listening to Slow Thai, 070 Shake, Brent Fayaz.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
got a whole little journey there.
J. Cole. Sorry, J. Cole.
I apologize, J. Cole.
He's watching.
No, he's like, where's my name?
Yeah. Literally.
So definitely like playing off of your influences, I have a lot of similar influences. Speaking to like my more recent influences, definitely like Smino like is a huge influence for me. Like I've been listening to him since like the end of high school, and honestly like just the whole sound, like the whole neo soul and everything that Monty Booker does is like really great for him, and I love that. I also really do love Tyler too, and I think I love Tyler for the same reasons as you, but also I think a different reason is cool because he kind of made like being weird for like black and brown people cool again.
Yeah.
And like that's something that was really like great, well, made it being cool for the first time, I should say. And I think as someone who identifies as kind of being like a little bit of a weird, kind of awkward black person, I think it's nice just kind of like showing black people in a different light than just kind of what is stereotypically put out. And I also really love how like specifically like in the Flower Boy era, how he kind of mixed like R&B and rap, and specifically rap that's something more associated like on a more like masculine and like hard side. He used like feminine and soft imagery and aesthetics to like juxtapose that, and that's something that I take a lot of inspiration from, because even though I like am a woman in like rap and in the R&B space, like I really do like rap about like difficult stuff, and so my beats can be kind of like loud and obnoxious, but like I also really like pretty things, and I think that's something that I really enjoy.
It's hard to be soft.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
Literally one of my favorite songs off the album. It's so good.
Yes.
So, some influences that I had growing up, John Mayer was a really big one for me. My dad was playing a lot of John Mayer in the house. Marvin Gaye was a big one.
Love that.
But technically, I really like I said, I grew up in church, so I really wasn't allowed to listen to secular music and like R&B. That just wasn't something that I heard often. But once I got my first phone, started downloading all the R&B records, man. I started listening to Usher. Man, I started listening to a lot of Usher. Anderson .Paak. His record in 2016, Malibu, that changed my life as a musician. It was. I was like bewildered. I was just in bed one time, just listening to it. I was like, I did not know music could sound like that. And so like Anderson .Paak, Bruno Mars is a big one. Obviously, Silk's that whole pairing.
Good, so good.
You guys talking about hip hop? I mean, like some of my favorite like hip hop guys, Kendrick.
Of course. How do we skip the GOAT?
Wow.
The literal GOAT.
Terrible.
Kendrick, Jay-Z was a big one for me. Outkast.
So sorry.
Andre 3000 is
100%.
is one of my favorites, and then Lupe Fiasco.
Yes.
I remember I used to love listening to him growing up. So I would say like all those, like every artist that I listen to has some sort of like influence. And then Radiohead. People don't know that about that. People don't know that. Whenever I say Radiohead, they're like, "What?"
I love Radiohead.
But like I love listening to Radiohead. I just love the
What's
sound.
your favorite song?
Weird Fishes / Arpeggi. You know that one?
No, I don't know. I like what the fuck? Bro, I write all this shit down, bro. Pyramid Song.
Yeah.
And
okay, that's
it's the
everything. That's everything's in the right place. Yeah,
bro,
that's
crazy.
That's the one.
Crazy.
Think with Radiohead is because like if like it's usually on like the same like groove, but it's just always just kind of steadily rising. And then they get to like this peak, and it's just like, whoa, what's happening? So
and the chord progressions.
Yes,
insane.
always so dope.
Insane.
So dope. I love Radiohead. Shout out them.
Radiohead and Tyler the Creator have very similar chord progressions. I think.
Oh, I'm gonna pay attention to that.
Maybe I'm tripping.
Oh my gosh, I love when people like music. Like
yes, I forgot about the GOAT, Frank Ocean.
Oh my God. Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
So good. Okay, so I have to know, how have these artists kind of influenced your journey, like your path, how you've been going about it, and even like have there been some hardships that you've encountered, and how do you like continue past those and stay true to your art?
I think I may be able to start with this one. I think I can like kind of go on the Tyler tangent, especially like more recently. A lot of like my sound and my message has been inspired by him. I think in my journey, like kind of like the Goblin era specifically. I like it's super angsty. It's like, and also for the time it was super controversial for how like boisterous he was and just very like outspoken. And I was kind of feeling, and also like it's also kind of very emo and like very like self-aware, and that is what I wanted to hone into like my music in the last year. I was kind of going through a really difficult time artistically because like I just released like today my first self-produced track just came out, Guilty. You guys should go stream it.
Okay.
But
shout it out,
thank you. Yeah, you guys can go stream Guilty. It's out on all platforms by Gertrude, myself. Okay.
Let's go.
But like before then, the reason why I bring up like I emphasize the self-produced part was before this single came out, I was like outsourcing a lot of producers because I used to actually just make like indie and rock, and like making the transition to R&B and hip hop was very difficult for me, and I didn't know how to make beats, and like because of that, like my skill level was not matching with like the quality of music that I wanted to put out. So I was like reaching out to a lot of producers and stuff, and I think I was just having a lot of issues with collaborating with people and just like, you know, sounds not meshing, also just like having disagreements and stuff, and I kind of was feeling super angsty because like consistently like my release dates were getting pushed back, and like I just wanted to do things on my own terms, and I was just feeling super angry, and like also like, and also not only on other people but also myself, like kind of self-sabotaging and pushing back like getting better at production and getting better at like making beats so that I can like make the music that I want. So like a lot of like his self-awareness that he puts into his music, where he talks about like, you know, being a failure, feeling like a failure, or you know, or even just like this, you know, really raunchy stuff about like kill people, burn stuff, you know, F school, all the stuff that he talks about. Like, I was really how I was feeling. I was not feeling like going to school. I was struggling to like, you know, make any of the music that I like wanted, and I couldn't get anything to sound like how I wanted to sound. So I feel like you kind of feel the angst and the struggle that I was going through in that time, and kind of like mirroring those two eras. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I think if you're talking about like, you know, struggle and staying true to our sound, I think especially coming here to USC and being this is a white space, I would say. We can all agree this is a white space. And sometimes, like I was talking about black music earlier, and how sometimes people will try to make you feel ashamed for liking that and wanting that sound to you know, be pushed forward. And so what I had to learn is that, you know, like I said, it's the sound is important, and there's a space for it. But I do sometimes feel that there's not always a space for, you know, the black sound and black musicians and black voices to be heard. And so that's really something I've been trying to do, making sure that although I'm in this white space, that I'm staying true to my sound. And that's something that I've been really touching on this year specifically, just making music and staying true to my sound and working with people that, you know, want to push that, want to meet my goal, want to, you know, help me reach those goals. So yeah, for sure.
I guess just like seeing what my idols and like what the image they are and like what I am, you know what I mean? So I came into LA in 2018, and I was just like, I just didn't know myself, so I was trying to be something else. My music was something else, and then like over a period of time, I was like, oh, I don't have to dress this way, I don't have to sing like this, I don't have to produce this way, I can just do me and then make it my thing, you know what I mean? So that was like a little, not really a big struggle, it was just like finding myself. And it's like,
once you did, it all like clicked.
It all clicked, and it just made so much sense, and now I'm just me. And all 100 versions of me.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And going back to what you're saying, because that's such an interesting thing to think about. You know, we are at USC, which is definitely PWI, as we all know. Yeah. So, like, how have you been able to navigate this music scene at USC, you know, put your mark on it, even, like, find your grounding within this whole scene here?
Well, I will say it's very hard.
I ain't done shit.
It's really, really hard.
It is very hard.
It's like, I'm just going to start off, it's very hard. Like,
easy.
It's like, how do you, like, I'm also still figuring out how.
I would love to, like, do performances and Spring Fest and the fests and
concerts, people.
Yeah,
some amazing artists here.
Yeah, we're great. Literally. Y'all are missing out. Seriously.
Yes. I think kind of just like adding on definitely to what you're saying is like, I think it's hard too because just being a minority on campus in general, like, it's just like, it's interesting too seeing like the demographic of people. Like when you look at other musicians that are on campus, like, there are a lot of like just like white people who make like rap and R&B and like also like make music from black genres. And it's funny because like I can find all of those artists anywhere, but like I'm meeting you guys all today for the first time, and like I don't see a lot of like musicians of color on campus that are being elevated. And I feel like a lot of like the frequent names on lineups I see don't belong to musicians of color. And I think that just says a lot about the culture. And I think like people want to see it from like a white face, but like want to hear like the black music or just like from a white face rather than like actually going to like the source of people who are making really good stuff. And I'm not saying that the people who are like, you know, those people aren't making really good stuff, but I just think it just says a lot. And I also like, I'm a transfer and like I'm in my second year here, and like I'm only now like in my second year that I've really started to like find those people. Like I've had to really find and go out of my way to find the people who are, you know, finding musicians of color who are doing something similar as I am doing, but like I don't think when you come here, like that's necessarily like what you're gonna see first.
And that's just not to say black people of color. Like I rarely see people of color on a USC stage, and it does say a lot. And I mean, at the end of the day, like I don't want to say it's expected because I mean it isn't. There's not a lot of us in the space, and it's not. And so people are gonna look out for who they want to look out for, and that is what it is. But I would shout out like my professors and like Patrice Russian. She hooked me up with the opportunity with Babyface. A few
so good. Y'all have to check that out. Like
shout out Patrice Russian because she's always had my back, and she's a professor. She's one of the professors that I'm studying under, and also all the rest, Paul Jackson Jr., Andy Abad, Professor Holt, like they're so dope. And they have the students back, and there's a network here, and it really is just about like going out, finding opportunities, and just putting yourself out there. But I would say, as far as student culture, it is hard to find a space as a black person to present the sound that you want to present. But yeah.
And have y'all kind of wanted to, like, what's the way in which you think that you can go about finding those spaces, even like creating those spaces, or like who are you going to be networking with as well? Man,
at the end of the day, like I was talking to my homeboy the other day, and we were literally having the same conversation. I'm like, man, it'd be, and I'm kind of joking, like it'd be a lot of white people. Like it's a lot of white music, man. It's a lot of Taylor Swift, like, and it's just like
a lot of Swifties.
And it's like, and so he was kind of joking about this, and I was like, man, we should just do our own concert. Just do our own.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, we should just
I'd be in the front row.
Shoot, and man, if black musicians and really, really do what we want to hear. Just create the space for us, and because I think sometimes we like to sit and wait and just want people to do it for us, and sometimes we do a lot of talking, and sometimes it's just about getting it done.
100%.
That's crazy that you say that, because literally back in India over the summer there was like no one's really doing any like fun shows or anything like that. So I was like, bro, just do your own. And then I did, and it was so fun.
Ooh, okay.
And then I did one in October as well, and I did like a little tiny desk, like my own thing. But the idea of like being self-sufficient on just like if it's not happening, make it happen yourself. Like just do it with your homies. Like invite the people who want to come. Doesn't matter if it's going to be huge or not. Get coverage. Make sure the fucking world sees that shit. And yeah, that's the most important thing. So if you do that, that's fucking sick.
And kind of in your day-to-day life, even, how do you keep practicing your music, keeping your vocal cords ready, even like get the creative juices flowing? Because I know with classes, with finals, with midterms, with all the other extracurriculars, like it can get hard to stay focused on that. But what are the ways that y'all do?
I don't like keep my vocal cords. I'm not like.
Or not necessarily vocal cords, but
like, what do I do just to keep
the writing, keep your process going and everything?
I try to produce every day, like make a few beats every day.
Ooh, okay.
So and then like my voice notes is like full of just like demos, like random, like you know what I mean. I guess that's just practice, right? Because you're just doing the same thing over and over.
I've like started playing around with like my environment, like where I do things. So like instead of just like maybe like in the dark in my room, like with like my blanket over my head at 2 a.m, I've been like playing with like going outside, like bringing my laptop outside and like in the park in the grass with the sun and like trying to make a beat there. I've been playing around with location, and that has helped me a lot, especially because I think it makes me feel like I'm less like, okay, I'm sitting down to like make a song, and more just like I'm just like enjoying like this. I feel like I'm enjoying the scenery more and like enjoying the creative process more, instead of like, I guess, applying less pressure. Like when I go outside, I feel like there's less pressure.
I think as far as like songwriting is concerned, a lot of like my inspiration just comes from conversations that I have with people, and just kind of sitting down and just making meaningful connections. And I feel like just your life experiences over time, especially in college, like these are like the days where you're gonna really these are the days you're gonna really experience some stuff. And so I'd say over time, like life experiences really like help my songwriting evolve. And then as far as like singing is concerned, just kind of taking care of my health, making sure covering up when I'm going outside in the cold so I'm not getting sick. stuff like that. Drinking a lot of water. But
hydrate before you dehydrate.
Hydrate, man. That's
sometimes the raspy voice be hella sexy though.
It does.
Yeah.
I've actually tried to channel that. Like recording, like
Recording
in the morning, like waking up in the morning, just seeing like.
Come on, morning boys.
No, literally, first thing in the morning. It's like I record first thing in the morning sometimes, and it's just like the best take. Literally,
like,
I'm gonna try that next time. Yeah.
It can really hear something.
And I think Party Next Door was like. Sometimes if I want like a really smooth voice, I drink a glass of tea, and if I want something raspy, I take a shot of vodka, and then I go into the studio.
Interesting.
So that's sick.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah.
Process is a process. A process is a process.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I have to know, what are some of y'all's favorite places to perform? Do you like, in front of a crowd, in a tiny little studio, even like in the shower?
Definitely on stage is my favorite place to perform. Like, I had a big adjustment period phase because like when I was making rock music compared to when I was making like R&B and rap, like a lot of rock music is focused on like your live performance, your stage, your band, like how do you guys look when you perform live, and like that is like the main thing that attracted me to making music, was like performing and just going to like really amazing concerts. And then like a huge part of rap and hip hop is like your bars, your flows, your beats, so it's like a lot of time in the studio, and like I like that and I still like love that tremendously, but I definitely like enjoy my favorite time performing is on stage because I've practiced it like a billion times, and like I already know what I'm gonna get, and I'm not like obviously nervous depending on like the crowd size or whatever, but like I'm not nervous. Like I feel like I can do my best, so definitely like I feel like as a musician I'm the most set up to succeed live.
You said in the shower. I didn't even think of that as a performance space, but I feel like I sound best in the shower. Just you're taking the most risk by yourself. But a lot of stuff comes out. But I'd say like in general, like my favorite places to perform are like those intimate settings, where I'm like maybe on the couch or just on the stool, and it's like 20-30 people in the room, and you're able to just kind of get everybody on one accord. And that's not to say like I don't like big stages, because obviously like I love performing for a lot of people, but I feel like I get the most out of like myself, and I reach the most people when it's just an intimate setting, and I like the messages that I like to get across. Like I feel like those really resonate the best in those intimate, close settings.
I think for me it's a mix of the intimate setting and definitely just going on a stage, because like it also depends on where I am. Like if I'm trying to promote a new single, then I want to be in front of like a shit ton of people, and I want new people to listen to me. If I just want to like engage with my core fans, then I'll do like an intimate thing and just have like kind of like me and 20-30 people and just us singing together, like a tiny desk concert basically, But to what you said about practicing,
yes,
I never do that shit, bro. I feel like if I practice, then I mean like I'll know my set, but if I practice, then I feel like I'll start overthinking, and then when I'm on stage I'll be like, oh shit, I had to do this move at this line, you know what I mean?
See,
so I don't practice at all. I'm just like nervous as shit before I go on a big stage. I mean like I still haven't overcome that like nervousness of going on a bigger stage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then once I'm on, bro, it's over. It's so fun. It's the best feeling, literally.
Oh, well, now I want to know, like, what are some of your like favorite performance stories, or even like, oh my gosh, this was just like so crazy or so wild that this happened. Like, tell me about it.
I'd say like my favorite performance was my first performance at USC was last fall, so fall semester, sophomore year. Cup of Troy, shout out Sean, he hooked me up.
I love the Cup of Troy guys.
Cup of Troy, man, they're so dope, and they created room for me, and I was like, and it was the dopest thing. There was so many people there. It was like this house crawl, so like I was at one house and there was another performance at another. So like all the people like that were at this house, like they moved over, and everyone was. It was the coolest thing. But like shout out Cup of Troy.
That's so sick. Yeah. We really do love those guys.
So if you guys ever see a Cup of Troy show on social media, like. That's the place. That's a place you might want to go. On your Thursday night, Friday night. Oh yeah! Shout out Cup of Troy, man. They're like a small. Well, it started off as like a small coffee shop. They kind of bring out artists. So one of the first artists was actually my roommate, Tibby Ballady. Dope artist. Shout out Tibby. And now like it's become this really big thing, and it's just a really cool way to bring the USC community together. listening to music, and they always bring out vendors. So I mean, whenever you see Cupatrol on IG or social media or whatever, like I would try and get out to those shows because they're always pretty cool, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! A USC artist is calling me.
Wait, what?
Now.
Whoa!
Oh,
Yeah.
Answer it.
Okay, let's see what's up. Hey, what's up? How soon can you get here?
Yeah. Yo, what's up? Nice to be here. My name is Eva Kaylee. I'm a fellow USC student. I'm a third year psych major, but I minor in music production and music industry because daytime I'm a student, but all the other time I'm a rock star. That's what I do.
Come on.
Yeah. Bringing it back, like Jimi Hendrix. And, we're talking about our favorite shows.
Yeah, favorite shows. What performances have you put on for people?
Lots. Pretty good ones, too. I think definitely, my favorite show I've done so far is, I did a show with the Trojan Women's Network. And my friend, she's, the head of DEI for them. So it was, a diversity, equity, and inclusion fashion show. And it was really dope because all these USC students, all black people of color, they got to walk with, just their own fits that they curated, black brands, and also stuff that was native to their culture. So it was really dope. You had a lot of West African fabrics, people wearing skirts, all types of shit. Somebody had to tell Feezy. It was really dope. And I got to perform in the middle of the show, and I performed an original of mine called Running, and it was really dope. And yeah, definitely one of my favorite experiences so far.
Shout out Running.
Shout out, yeah.
Shout out, so real.
Mm-hmm.
Any other favorite performances?
I recently performed at the JAP Gala. That was at the Town and Gown. Carol Folt was there. It was pretty cool. So I got to meet her.
For Carol?
I know, it was pretty cool. Shout out Auntie Carol.
Come on, we love her.
Yeah, but
Miss Fight on.
that was
Let's
pretty
keep
cool.
it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, took a nice little picture with her, and it was, a fun little experience. I sang Let It Be.
Nice.
Not Let It Be. What did I sing?
I was like, let it.
It wasn't Let It Be. I'm tripping. It was that Bill Withers song.
Ain't no sunshine with
No.
Let it snow?
No.
Let it.
What's
I
the
don't
song?
know.
Now I'm tripping. Now
What
I'm
is the
blanking.
song?
A lovely day.
No. Sometimes in our life.
Oh, we all have pain. We all have. Lean on me.
Lean on me. There we go. Let it go.
Oh, wait, so the one musician?
I did not know.
I'm
I
like,
did not know.
yes, lean on me.
Give me
That
my
is what
mic.
I sang at the JP Gala with a couple other friends, and that was a really fun time.
Is it gala or gala?
Guess all of the
What do
above,
you want?
honestly.
Gala.
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 Tomato,
Gala.
tomato.
Met Gala.
That's what I was
But I
like,
think it's Gala apples, though.
Say what you want, bro.
It's you and your own
Wait, but is that the
pronunciation.
same thing? Like apples?
You're saying GALA.
Yeah,
right?
GALA.
That's what
Gala.
I'm saying.
JP Gala.
Gertrude, have you done
Gala.
any performances where there might have been like the Gala apples, whichever one it was, or just
I'm trying to think. Honestly, I feel like I haven't performed a lot in LA, but I definitely think one of my favorite performances happened in May when I performed at the Silver Lake Lounge, and then it was cool because I performed a cover of The Less I Know the Better, and I don't know if you guys go to shows a lot, and you know how the bassist every time they're doing sound check, they're always teasing it, and you're you're gonna play it, you're gonna not. So I decided to put it on my set list because I was it's that song that no one everybody wants to do live but never does. So it was cool because then afterwards my friend sent me Tame Impala, Kevin Parker had played there, and they were oh, it's so great because we did their song. So
That's dope.
So that was dope.
I think for me, my favorite performance was back in India in July. I did an album release party on a Tuesday night, and
on a Tuesday? Club going up on a Tuesday?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
and
Oh.
we rented out the club, sold out. It was 500, 600 people, all fans, all singing back my lyrics. It was literally I was drunk as fuck, but it was so fun. It was literally the best moment, I swear.
That's so dope.
That's
Wait,
so dope.
that's so sick.
That's fun.
Got all that footage and
Got all the
stuff.
pictures
Made a
that-
cute little movie.
That's real cool.
Okay, so all of y'all seem a little confident in the performances and everything, but I have to know, do you ever get stage fright? I know you mentioned the nerves, but how do you push past that, or what are the tips and tricks?
I mean, I definitely do get anxious before going on stage, so I always call my mother. If I know I have a show, I'm so serious. I call my mother, and just tell
So cute.
she she always prays for me. Come from a religious family, so she always prays before I go on stage, and that's the coolest thing. So Yeah.
I be sinning, bro. I be taking shots.
Why would you tell me?
Okay.
I'm kidding, okay.
That's okay, man.
No, but I do choose
No, you're about to get smited.
No, so I used to like take shots before performing, but then I just realized like I feel way more into it if I just go on sober and like in my full energy. The shots don't help. So
I agree.
shots don't
Yeah,
help.
I agree.
Especially with like weed too, and like sometimes I think, oh, smoking will chill me out, or like alcohol will chill me out, but then I just end up like more like worried or just like dead. Yeah, or dead on stage too, because like the substances will just like.
Yeah, and you literally think like, okay, the alcohol is gonna make me chill. It's gonna, and then eventually it makes you like too chill to the point where you're like not doing a good job.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? So yeah, 100%. I've just stopped. Before performing, not in general.
Yeah, I'm on the same wave. I never like drank or did anything before I performed because in my head I was like, smoking is gonna fuck with my vocal cords. The drinking like dehydrates and that fucks with your vocal cords. And like to me personally, when I do a lot of my own stuff too, I want to give like the best like vocal performance and like theatrical performance. So like I want to be completely there. And also, like, I want to be there for the experience and, like, remember it 1,000%.
Yeah, fully present.
Because even with the adrenaline, you're going to forget a lot because you're so caught in the moment. So, like, I want to have everything within myself to, like, be there fully.
And the more you remember, the next time it's going to be easier. Because you're like, dude, what the fuck are you worrying about? You literally were doing the same thing last time and then you went on and you killed it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And what you said about nerves, like, to me personally, I do get that, like, little fright, like that turn in my stomach. But like one thing is like I practice like breath work, you know, I was going to calm myself and it kind of like reverse the physiological reaction. But in my head, like I always affirm like, you know, you got this, like you rehearsed, you can sing, you can perform, the song is good. Like, and always like, you have to have the support. Like he said, he calls his mom, like all my, like, I call them my groupies, but they're just like my closest friends. Like they're always there in the front row, like they're there and they're like, Eva. And I'm like, you know, that's like all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah, worst case, you're performing for your homies.
Exactly. Yeah. Worst case, you're performing for your homies.
That seems like...
And they know the words because they've heard it all.
That's good for the audience as well.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she has like...
Exactly.
Like, yo, like, this is... Gotta pay attention to this.
Like, you're like, oh, shit, I want to be a groupie.
Yeah.
I want to be a groupie too.
Hey, we accept applications at all times.
Ooh, okay, wait, I'm about to start filling out the form right now.
Email at the bottom.
Okay, so speaking of like becoming a groupie, I have to know like any music coming out, what's up next, where can I find you, listen to y'all?
Gertrude.
Well, I just had a song that came out today. It's my self-produced single. I'm very happy. It's my brainchild. Her name is Guilty, and you can find Guilty everywhere on all streaming platforms under Gertrude. So I'm very excited. Also, thank you so much. Should be having new music coming out next year as well.
What are you guilty of, though?
What am I guilty of? Well, the song actually talks about like placing boundaries and like what that looks like for me, because like I'm someone who like works full time and also is in school full time. So like I'm literally working in a minimum wage job when I'm not at school. So it's kind of, and if I'm not at school or doing that, I'm making music. So a lot of that, and because of that, like I've kind of had to make like social sacrifices. And so that song, like the opening line like of my rap verse is like, I'm pleading guilty, but I'm feeling great. So I kind of talk about how like I am guilty of kind of like I have all these mixed, you know, unanswered texts on my phone. I have all these missed calls, but like I feel great because like I'm putting my music first. I'm putting my bag first. And yeah, that's what the song's about.
I actually don't have any music out, but you guys can follow me on Instagram at Joshua Gordon Wilson. But I am working on an EP with Michael Campanelli. Shout out him. Super dope producer. Like low-key stealing from him right now. Like, cause once he's taken off, he's gone and he won't be picking up the phone. But shout out him. And so stay tuned. Like hopefully, next like early February. June, early February, March.
We're gonna be keeping up with you.
Yes, please do.
I got your IG.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Dropped a single mid-October called Choices by ZZ. Yes, sir.
Very nice, very nice.
And new single coming out next week, Friday, called Sweet Tooth with my boy Bill. Shout out Bill from London.
Come on, Bill.
Yeah, it's vibes.
Oh, come on.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I'm just like Joshua. I don't have music out yet, but I am working on an EP as well. I spent like last year of my life writing one, you know, it's been hectic and it's like, you know, all me. So I definitely feel your vibe of like, I gotta stop picking up the phone and start putting in the work and like really making it all happen for myself. But I'm excited. You can follow me on Instagram, eva.kaleigh, K-A-L-E-I-G-H. It's like the old school spelling of it. But yeah, keep up with me. I perform, and I know I'm gonna drop a single, and it's gonna be Running, that first song.
Ooh.
And it's hella good. Like everyone who's heard it live, they're like, I really like your song. I'm like, thank you. I wrote it.
Okay, wait, I have to know, what are kind of like the tips and tricks of y'all promoting your work? How do you go about doing that? Is it just literally just have homie film it and then?
Low key, like word of mouth, just tell your friends, how those friends tell their friends, and you know, kind of spreads. And then just Instagram, social media, yeah, I would say.
Make homies.
Yeah.
Hashtags.
Visuals.
Yes.
People are lazy as fuck. Just remember that. They don't want to read anything. They don't want to look. They don't even want to look at like a blank picture with just audio. You know what I mean? They want to see something that's you, that's like your own aesthetic, your own style of visuals. It doesn't have to be like the basic TikTok shit. You know, just be you, be your own shit, make it you. Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah, I put like a lot of like, I also, not only do I see my social media as like, oh, this is what I use to promote my music, but I also see it as a way to, like, I see it as like my sketchbook. So like kind of adding on what you're saying is like, I want to like, it's my form of creative expression, so you can even use it that way too, and like play with visuals and aesthetics and like whatever you want. And I think also like that translates well to people. Yeah.
That's so sick. Okay, and before I let y'all go, I have to know, who is your dream collab?
I'd say.
Shit.
That's a hard
like
question.
with us.
Half of mine are dead.
Like you, like who
Oh,
would you
okay.
want to like collaborate with?
Oh, okay.
Dead.
Dang.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to the real ones, but they were gonna be 97 otherwise.
Damn, they old as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no, I mean it. Like it would have been Jimmy. It would have been probably like Howlin' Wolf or like Muddy Waters, or even like I don't know. There's this guy. His name is Screamin' Jay Hawkins. If you hear this now, look him up because he's an icon. He's just chaotic, unhinged as fuck, and he made like rhythm and blues like, but before like not R&B like we're doing today, but it was like Chuck Berry, that type of vibe.
Ooh.
But he was like. He was killer. Like your grandmother or your great auntie would have been like, "That's my dude." You know.
If I could get on a track with D'Angelo and John Mayer at the same time, that would make
Same time.
that would make my life, and I wouldn't
make
have to make music anymore.
He said, "I'm done. I tap out."
That would just be the record. I turn in, and then I'm done.
You only need one hit.
Just one. That's really all you need.
Honestly, that one hit wonder.
Nah.
That's all you need. One hit,
Look
and
at
you
Lil
can really
Nas, man.
retire. Like
The one hit
Right.
wonders, they made the money. They just didn't know what to do with it.
True.
True.
And they didn't
Yeah.
secure it because
They
they were
weren't
trying to screw
consistent.
you out of it. Yeah.
I think Stevie Wonder for sure would be like a dream collab, and a second artist. Oh man, I kind of wanted to do a second artist. Now I'm like forgetting.
There's so much Tyler talk earlier. Is
Yes,
not one of
Tyler.
them?
Tyler's up there. Yes, I'll do Stevie and Tyler. Yes, because Tyler steals a lot of Stevie stuff, so I think it would be really funny.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, like, yeah, I think that would be a good collaboration.
I think I'd do Pharrell.
Top 10
Yeah, like,
instant. Yeah, top 10 instant. Yeah.
Majid Jordan. I don't know if you guys know them from OVO Toronto.
Is it OVO?
And then Future.
Yes.
All on the same track?
No, hell no. Maybe Pharrell and
spread the
Future on the
love.
same
Yeah,
track.
bro.
Probably
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
could actually be dope.
Yeah.
I can see that being. Okay.
Also, I have to change my answer because it'd either be like Stevie Nicks or like Smino. I don't know if y'all know Smino.
Smino, we
Yeah,
love
on the
Smino.
track.
That's like literally love him.
We could low-key like
Shout out to
sample
the
like
room over there. She loves
like
me
a
too.
Stevie lick, like a lick, and then have him do something over it. I don't know. I feel like them in a room together would be kind of funny, just in general though. Smino and
Throw you
Stevie
into.
Nicks.
Stevie,
Yeah, I
Yes,
would just want to
agreed.
observe though. I'm such a people watcher. That would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be
Stevie
really
Nicks.
fun.
That's that's Edge of 17. Is that one of her tracks?
Yeah.
I love that song. That's a dope
Fleetwood
song.
Mac.
Yeah.
Have you heard the new Smino album?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
That's my
Oh, I've been
dog.
bumping
I'm
for
really
the
gonna
last
meet
2
him.
weeks, yeah.
I bought
Did we see
tickets to
Ari
meet
in
him.
the music video?
Did you meet him?
No, I'm going to
Ari.
at the show.
Ariel.
When is it?
No,
Who goes here?
January
Yeah.
31st.
No, she goes here, yeah.
Yay.
Little music video vixen over there. Yes, okay, well, oh my
Wait,
gosh.
I have a question.
Oh, you have
I have a question because she just brought this up.
Why don't you just sit my dog?
Sorry. Have you guys ever met like one of your idols?
No. I don't want to either.
I don't want to. I already know.
Yeah, they're like
some
never
of my
meet your
assholes.
idol.
Not as a fan. Not as a fan.
Agreed.
Oh, as a fan. I mean, like as a fan, have you ever like met? Like you're gonna meet Smino, right? So you meet him as a fan, right?
Yeah.
Or you meet him as an artist collaborator.
Yeah, I really wanted to be like as a friend, like we just happen to be like in a mix or something, and then like we just happen to come upon it because I would genuinely want to be friends with the people that I admire, because I admire them not only for their artistry but for their character and like who they are as a person, as much as I know.
I guess I met Babyface. He's for sure like an idol, like someone I look up to. I'm trying to think though. Now that I think about it, I really don't know. If I have.
Hey, can I just name drop real quick? I met Tyler outside the golf store, like
so sick.
at night on Melrose. Yeah.
Like on Fairfax.
Oh yeah. I don't remember. Yeah. Near the John and Vinny's thing.
Yeah.
So
he
was outside and he was literally wearing like his weird outfit, and I had been shopping at golf right before, so I had a golf chain, and I walked to him with the chain, and I was like, look at me, you know what I mean? And he probably thought I was like a crackhead or something. Like, he's like, what the fuck? And then I was like, bro, can I please get a picture? He's like, no, but you can get a hug. And then I was like,
take the hug.
I was like, okay, yeah. And then I was like, bro, so like, you're so crazy, bro. I love your music. I love like everything you do. Like, what's next? He's like, I just want to buy a LaFerrari and crash it and die. And I was like, okay.
Sounds about right.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I had like a similar thing with Tyler, like back in the day. Literally, like I saw him in concert, so he was my home screen at the time. So, oh my gosh, I keep like causing my leg to twitch. So I literally like went up to him. I was like, oh my gosh, it's you, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my god. I literally was like, came back from like an NYU tour, didn't go there, as we see Fight the Fuck On always, but yeah, it was still crazy. He was like right outside my cousin's apartment, like at a bodega with like DJ Taco and stuff.
I want to be his friend.
Taco?
No.
Oh, Tyler.
Yeah. Yes. Also Taco, bro. Yeah.
I was like, you want to be Taco's friend?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, bro.
Lame.
The whole
I know we'd be
gang.
friends. I know it for a fact.
Yeah.
I've looked at his chart.
Yes.
Well,
Tyler is Scorpio.
Is he Pisces?
He's a Pisces?
Yeah.
Or is it Frank who's a Scorpio? It's
so emotional.
Yeah.
He probably is a Scorpio.
Yeah.
No, that makes so much sense if he was a Scorpio.
Right.
Well, we definitely will continue our little zodiac talking, but thank y'all so much for joining me today. Y'all stay tuned for Tiny Pancakes. All of these amazing artists will be performing, and y'all don't want to miss out. We'll see you next time on In the AM with PM.
Yes.
Shotty, what's up, my man?
You're funny as fuck.
What are you supposed to do?
I don't know.
You just do that.